What's good, guys? Welcome to episode 21 of the Thru It All podcast. So the idea behind each episode is to uncover one's true story and just have honest conversations about overcoming the difficulties of life. So with that, episode 21, Kai Wong, but say your full name for me, please. I'll probably mess it up.
Okay, it's Kai Kalani Kapua Maino Kia Kua Chanel Wong.
That's so sick. How many letters?
Dude, I told you before, I don't know.
But you have to at some point. You have to have counted.
Okay. We'll count after.
Okay. All right, let's take guesses. And then we'll count it at the very end.
26.
The whole alphabet. I'm going to say 35.
Okay.
Okay. 35.
Okay.
35 for sure.
All right, we'll see who's closer.
Okay. All right, so you're from Loma Linda, California, graduated.
That's where I was born.
Okay.
But I grew up in Yucaipa, California.
Yucaipa, California. And you graduated from Yucaipa High School.
Yes.
In 2020.
Yes.
And you are majoring in liberal studies with an emphasis on early child development. So, thank you for this. I'm glad that you guys could show out. Kathleen's in the building too. So
moral support.
Yeah, there you go. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
No.
Are you excited?
Kind of.
Explain.
A little bit more nervous.
Explain your full emotions on being on the podcast.
Well, my heart is racing and I'm just sitting here doing nothing other than talking. My hands are freezing and sweating.
It's okay, mine too.
So there's that.
No, you'll do great. So this is how I kind of want to start off. I want you to describe Yucaipa in 20 seconds.
Oh, fuck. There's not much to say. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yucaipa, it's a small town. Lots of old people. There's one high school there. There's like 3 elementary schools, two middle schools. Everybody knows each other. Very small. That's about it.
Okay.
There's not much to do.
And that's just like east of like Riverside in kind of Moreno Valley?
Yeah, it's just like the base of Big Bear.
Oh, nice. So did you go to Big Bear often when you were growing up?
Yeah. That's where I go snowboarding a lot.
Oh, that's where you go snowboarding. Have you been to Mammoth?
I have.
What are your thoughts on comparing the two?
Big Bear doesn't even compare. Mammoth is so much better.
Okay, fair. I love Mammoth too. So you played both soccer and volleyball?
Yeah, I did.
Growing up?
Yeah.
What value did like playing sports at a young age add to your like current life?
It definitely made me competitive. I don't like losing, especially now. I think anyone that knows me knows that like if I'm in it, like I'm in it to win. And like when I lose, like obviously it sucks, but like I just hate losing.
Right. And sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, and with both of those sports, like you need to know like the value of teamwork and like working together, because obviously in both of those, like one person can't do it all.
I like that. Now, when did you stop playing both of them?
So I stopped playing soccer going into my freshman year of high school because I started playing volleyball, and honestly, I got lazy and volleyball it came more naturally to me. And so I was like, oh, like it's so much better, no more running. And
Right.
So I got lazy, stopped playing soccer, started playing volleyball more. And then my senior year of high school, in the beginning, it was like we were at a tournament in Huntington, and it was like the second game, and I cracked my pelvis. And so I did not finish my senior year.
Oh, how did that happen?
So basically what happened was I dove for a ball, landed on the side of my hip, and then like it hurt. And so like my side was like kind of tingling, but it also felt like a bruise. So then I was like, oh, whatever, like kept on playing. Jeez. And then we had another game after that, and I started in it, played for a little bit, and then my whole leg just went numb. And so I like told my coach, I was like, I can't play. And so then I just sat there, and like they brought me ice, but like obviously no one knew what happened. I was just like, it just really hurts. And I had a fat bruise, but it honestly was kind of pretty because it was like purple and pink. But yeah, no, it was huge. It like wrapped around from like the bottom of my hip, like, and wrapped like all the way back.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was difficult to walk, didn't really do much.
That's so tough.
Yeah, and so I just like basically sat on the sidelines the rest of the season.
Dang. And that was your senior year, so your last chance to kind of play.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and then COVID happened, and then we stopped going to school.
Yeah, that did happen. That was tough. So no graduation. I know that's one of the things you said.
Yeah.
Graduated from UKIPA, #no graduation. How did you deal with that?
Honestly, it was kind of weird. I'd never had experienced a graduation before, so like I didn't really know like what I was really missing out on. Like I just saw like the older people who graduated, like I saw their graduations and stuff, but I never knew like the actual feeling of it because I was still in school. So realistically, like I don't know what I truly missed out on.
Yeah.
And like during that time, it sounds so bad, but like me and my friends, like no one really like quarantined and stuff. And in UKIPA, it's very like Republican heavy, and so like no restaurants closed, like everything was open. So like for me, it didn't really feel like we were like in quarantine or anything like that. Gotcha. So like I was still hanging out with my friends and stuff. So it felt just like, at first felt like an extra long like spring break, and then we're like, oh shoot, like we're really not going back to school.
Yeah. And
so like we were just living the life, like going to everyone's houses every single day, swimming, just hanging out.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So you were doing you then in the quarantine.
Yeah.
It's kind of clutch.
Like we didn't have to do like any schoolwork or anything because our grades like weren't changing, nothing.
I do remember that. They said it was either pass, fail, or you can't get below a B or something like that at my high school. That's how it was.
That's kind of how it was for us too.
Terrible.
So yeah, I know.
But so you were out your senior year, just kind of going back to the volleyball stuff. Is that when you got into like babysitting? Because I know that was something you talked about.
No, so I've always like had like a job and doing stuff, but once I started driving, I started babysitting more frequently. And then I actually, when was it? It was like the middle of my sophomore year, I started working at this gym in UKIPA. It was a small gym called Revolution, and I worked in the childcare there. And so through there, I met a lot of different families, and I got really close with this one family. And so then I would babysit for them like outside of work. And then, I was just really close with the kids. And it was funny, like sometimes the mom would call me and be like, I don't know why they're listening, like why they're not listening to me. Like, can you come over? Uh-huh. And like I would just go over there, and like the kids would like listen to me more than like the mom.
That's so great though.
Yeah, I mean, it's good and terrible at the same time.
But for you, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, from there I met like just multiple different families. And so this past summer, I actually babysat for 3 different families.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so like what I would do sometimes is like I introduced like the families together, and so they all knew each other, and like if they all needed me on the same day, like I would just have all the kids be there like one house together.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
No, it was really fun though, because like the kids would be able to play together, and like we went swimming. I'd always take them out to eat and stuff. So like it was fun.
That's fun. Did you have a favorite family? I have to ask. I don't know if you can say that, but I just have to.
I don't have a favorite family. Each family has their ups and downs. And I don't say I'd have a favorite kid, because like I had fun with all of them. Uh-huh. And they're all so different. But I do feel like the family that I'm closest with is the family that I met through the gym, because I now have known them for like 3.5 years. And so when I first started babysitting for them, their youngest was literally a baby. She was only like turning 1. Mm-hmm. And then now she just turned 4. So like, yeah, I just feel like I just watched her grow up.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I know. It just went from like her like learning how to crawl, and then she was walking, and then like now she's talking in like full on sentences, and it's so crazy.
That's so cool. So that you got to see like that whole grow up stage.
Yeah.
Nice. So is that kind of where so your degree is liberal studies and then emphasis on early childhood development. Mm-hmm. So it's like babysitting. Is that kind of how you got into that emphasis, I guess?
I feel like there's a lot of different things that kind of got into like the teaching and like the childhood development. My grandma's a teacher. She was a kindergarten teacher for like 30 years, and then she retired, and then she missed like teaching, and so now she substitutes at 70 years old just because like she loves teaching so much. And then
cool.
My aunt is also a teacher. She's a PE teacher for middle school, and so I just feel like I was always around like teachers, and like when I was little, my grandma would take me to like her classroom and stuff, and so like I was kind of just always around that. And then I feel like, yes, because of the babysitting, like I want to be a teacher, but also part of it is just because of like my life growing up. And so like I just want to be there for kids the way that like my grandma and like my teachers were there for me like growing up.
I love that. And what part of your life made you realize that, okay, hey, this is what I want to do?
I've always had a love and a passion for kids. And so I feel like that's just always been with me, like, especially because, like, I'm the oldest of my family, so I have a younger brother. And then on my dad's side, I have 2 younger cousins. And then on my mom's side, I also have, like, younger cousins. And so I always had, like, that, like, I guess, like, older sibling role. And so, like, I don't know. There's just something in me that enjoys, like, taking care of others.
I love that. Now, for this next part, I'm going to read just a kind of a little quotation excerpt from what you sent me on the text message. So, and I quote, "I remember this perfectly. 2 days before the start of 8th grade, my mom's dad died of cancer." That's what you sent me. So how did that moment change the way your life was up until that point?
So I'm not going to say that my life's terrible and that like it was awful, because it's not. And like growing up, we were a very active family, like we're very close. And so after my mom's dad died, it was just like the biggest turning point. My mom started drinking a lot, and that just caused my dad to drink with her. And so they both just spiraled down, and it was just a really bad time for the both of them. And since they were both just not there, it kind of had me like having to take care of like myself and my brother. And so like there were times where like they would be at the house and they would be just so out of it that like I would just basically have to figure out like what me and my brother were going to have for dinner. And like I would ask him like, oh, like, did you do your homework? Like those were just like basic things that like my parents just like stopped caring for. And so like at a young age, it was just like, I was like, what's happening? All that. And so with the drinking also caused like fighting with them. And so like there were times that like we'd be asleep and they would just start fighting, screaming at each other. Like there would be dishes broken, like holes in the wall. And like I would just call my grandma and be like, you have to pick us up. And so like we would stay with my grandma, and then she would wake us up for school in the morning, and then like she would take us to school and stuff. And then we would just hope that like things were fine at home, which like we never really knew like what was going to actually happen.
Wow. Thank you for being honest and vulnerable. Seriously, someone's going to watch this and is going to connect to what you just said.
Yeah. And like, I'm not trying to bash my parents like at all. Like I love them. Like if it wasn't for like what they did, I wouldn't be here right now.
Right. So how did you deal with it, like in a day-to-day situation? Like what was getting you through each day? Because you said, you know, it wasn't home necessarily. It's just like a place where I slept.
Yeah, it started to become like I would just be like, oh, yeah, that's just my house. Like it wasn't a home. And I definitely feel like home is a feeling. So like if you have like that person is your home. Like that's like your safety spot. And so I just didn't feel that anymore in my house. But what was your question again?
Just kind of how did you like deal with all that, all your emotions and your just thoughts on the whole situation, and what kind of got you through it?
I definitely feel like sports were a big impact on that, just because like after school, like I was like, oh, I had practice for like 2.5 hours to 3 hours, and then I would go hang out with my teammates after. And then definitely like my friends, I honestly had like really great friends who were like really understanding. And so like if something was happening, like I was fortunate enough to like be able to stay at a friend's house or like do like just be somewhere that wasn't like my home. And then another huge like impact on that was my grandma. So like even though like I feel like I was drifting away from my parents, my relationship with my grandma also like grew. So like even though like yes it sucks, like I wasn't as close with my parents, like I was fortunate enough to like be able to like talk with my grandma, and she was like just a parent.
Yeah. That's cool because you were just talking about her before this started.
Yeah, I love my grandma. Like we talk like 4 times a day.
That's awesome.
I'm always on the phone with her.
That's great. So now, did you turn to like working out and like, because I know you're super big on that. You were just telling me like you just got back from the gym earlier today. Yeah. So was that something that kind of helped like get your mind off things and where you can just focus on, I don't know, just lifting or whatever you want to do?
Yeah. So, and another part of that was because like I did work at a gym in high school.
Right.
And so.
That's where you met the family.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. So I was always around fitness. And so I just started working out, and it like literally just like putting in headphones and just focusing like on yourself and just channeling your energy into something like lifting weights. It just still to this day, like it just gets my mind off things, and I'm just able just to like release any stress or like emotion that I have.
What's your favorite thing to do in the gym?
I don't know. Right now, I've been on a benching kick.
Okay.
But it just depends. Like, I love yoga. I work at Orange Theory now, so I love Orange Theory classes. And then I also go to LA Fitness because I like to lift. So, like, it really just depends.
Okay.
I love it all. And then I'm also starting to get into running because I want to run a half marathon next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Running's awesome. Running or lifting?
Lifting.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm kind of torn because lifting I thoroughly enjoy it and like I like the results, but the running stuff, I feel like it's easier for me to like clear my mind.
It is. I feel like running's definitely more of a mental thing.
Yeah. Like, but I don't even go fast though.
Yeah.
Like, I just run and listen to my music. Like, that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, me too. And then I look at my clock. I'm like, wow, 10-minute mile. Okay.
Hey, as long as you get the distance though. That's
right.
all that matters. What are your thoughts on Planet Fitness?
I mean, it's great that it's a gym and that people are going there just to like focus on themselves. But for me, I personally do not like it.
Why is that?
I don't like that they have a squat rack. I don't like Smith machines. Mm-hmm. And like the whole like weight dropping thing, I really don't get that. Uh-huh. And I also heard that if you sign up at Planet Fitness, they give you a large pizza. Is that a thing?
Is that true?
I heard that.
I don't know. That would be wild. But we were just talking about that earlier. Okay. So now, kind of just I want to finish before we get into the Through It All 3, which is 3 questions at the end. What is the word, or I guess the phrase, through it all mean to you?
Through it all. Basically, it just means that you've just gone through life and you've made it through everything that life has thrown at you.
Nice. That's a great answer. Okay. Now for the first question of the Through It All 3, favorite sport outside of volleyball or soccer to watch?
Basketball.
Okay. Expand. Okay. It's only 3 questions, but I'm gonna expand on this. What's your favorite team?
I don't have a favorite team, but I love Tyler Hero.
Why?
Because when he first started playing, everyone was making fun of him, and so I just loved him. And then now I still love him, but I don't like his girlfriend, but his baby's cute.
Okay. Fair. If anyone out there, she does not like Tyler Hero's girlfriend. He's going to see this.
That's okay.
Okay. All right, next one. Favorite Costco food item?
That's a good one.
That was a good question, huh? You like that?
Their almond butter.
What? oh, my bad. I was thinking food court item.
Oh,
as well. Let's
the
do
pizza.
both. Okay, perfect. You know what? Let's go around the room real quick. Colin?
Huh?
From like the actual food court?
Yeah, they have them there.
Wow.
Which
okay,
one?
Nice. Kathleen? Chicken bake's good. Maria?
You're gonna be disappointed. I haven't gotten anything from Costco.
You haven't got
No.
Costco? Okay, it's fine. You know, it's good. You'll try it soon.
Yeah, I will.
We'll go group.
Yeah. A group Costco run. Okay, nice. And then last question, what advice would you give to yourself at your lowest?
It's going to be hard and nothing's going to be easy, but you're going to make it through it because you're strong and that you're more capable of more. Yeah, you're capable of more than you know that you are.
I don't remember you said that.
Through It All podcast episode
21.
21. What? Say your name again one time.
Kai Kalani Kapua Maino Ke Kua Chanel Wong.
And this is episode 21.
And this is episode 21.